Alright, what's good with y'all boys, bruh? It's Don Coolio coming at y'all with another video. In this video, man, we finna be discussing a pretty interesting topic. Definitely a 180 from the last video I made talking about this, the Shallot DLC. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I think it's Shallot, but if it's not, somebody let me know in the comment section. But yeah, this video kind of gonna be like a 180. You know, in that video, I wasn't being negative. I was being real, if I'm being honest with y'all. I'm definitely not gonna say I was being negative. But in this video, I kind of want to take a different perspective on it. I mean, if you ask me my general opinion on it, do I think the DLC is going to do anything? Probably not. I don't really think it's too many positives about it, but I did come up with a few things and I read a lot of y'all's comments, so I wanted to give y'all some sort of kind of feedback, you know, talking about a lot of the comments that people left on the video and like just people's opinions, you know, and what I started hearing a lot of people saying. So without further ado, man, let's get into this video talking about why I think the Shallot DLC could potentially save Sparking Zero. The first point that I want to make, you know, when it comes to the DLC potentially being able to save Sparking Zero, is the fact that this DLC is introducing a random ass Dragon Ball character, not random ass non-canon character that really nobody knows about. You feel me? The game for the most part has basically all canon characters, and if it's not canon, it's from a movie, you know, something that's all as close to canon as you can possibly get, or something like GT. But us getting this Shallot DLC could definitely potentially, you know, make a way for characters like Android 21. You know, I forget what those characters is called from what's it called, Xenoverse. Mira and Toa, I think that's their name. We get characters like them. You got characters like Fu. You know, we could get characters like that. We could also, I think I already said Android 21, but we could also get a character like Super Saiyan Bardock. I think that's pretty much the one that everybody wants. If I had to say a character that's in line with Shallot and Mira and Toa and Android 21, it would definitely be a character like Super Saiyan Bardock with the mask on. You could put the mask on, take the mask off. I think that would probably be like the most hype character that we could possibly get that's in line with this situation. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section. I think that's probably, like, in my opinion, that's probably the only real true positive, right, that I can sit here and say is like almost cemented. That's a cemented positive in my opinion. That's a cemented one. I've seen a lot of people saying that, and that one makes sense. Like, it was a lot of people saying like we get characters from Dragon Ball heroes like Super Saiyan God, Trunks. I don't know about that, bro. I think that's kind of taking it a little too far, in my opinion. We don't want to be delusional now. You know, we don't want to be delusional. Let's not be delusional with the shit. We got to be realistic. We can be positive, but let's not be delusional. I feel as though that's delusional. We not getting Super Saiyan God Trunks, bro. That's like saying we finna get that's like saying we finna get Grand Priest Goku. We finna get Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We finna get Super Saiyan 4 brother. We not getting them characters, bro. We not getting them characters. That's taking it way too far, bro. That's taking it way too far. But would it be cool if we got those characters? Of course. But the sad reality is we not finna get those characters, you feel me? We just not finna get those characters. I also seen people saying that it's possible that we could get manga characters like what's his name? Like Granola and Black Frieza and Ultra Ego Vegeta. We not getting those characters because of this, bro. I gotta be honest with y'all. That's just not happening, y'all. That's not happening, bro. I know y'all want to believe that could happen. I want that to happen. I think Ultra Ego Vegeta would probably break the internet if he released on any video game. That would probably break the internet, bro, in my opinion. But I just don't think that that's who we finna get. But yeah, like I said, anybody, if y'all got anything y'all would like to say about this specific one that I just said about like the new characters they could possibly add based on this, let me know down in the comment section whether or not you agree with me. But let's get into this next point, bro. Alright, so the next point that I don't have too many points. Like I said, like I'm telling y'all, it's not too many positives with this, but there is a chance. You know, we gotta give it the benefit of the doubt. It is a slight chance that it could do something positive, but it's not too many, you feel me? But for the second positive that I have, this DLC shows that they can and will do things outside of the season pass roadmap. And that's a real positive thing. I've seen people saying that, and that's a very good thing, y'all. That's actually a very good thing. The fact that they will go ahead and do things that's not on the season pass roadmap means that it's possible. We don't know what we could get out, even if it isn't just like non-canon characters, even if it's just like a base GT Vegeta, or maybe it's a GT Goten, or just, you know, just all these different characters that actually are canon, even though they're not actually canon. let's say it's other characters that's actually canon that we don't have, we could possibly just get them on some random shit out of nowhere. You feel me? Because that's exactly what just happened with this Shallot DLC. Like, we getting this out of nowhere. You know, they was developing this and nobody knew about it. Obviously, nobody knew about it. And just to think it's about to come out in like a few days. So there was no foreshadowing. There was no foreshadowing for this DLC. All they did was literally just drop a trailer, a 1 minute trailer a couple days ago. And here it is, we finna get it a few days from now. So it's like I said, this pretty cool. That's definitely that is a solidified positive. The fact that that shows that we can get things outside of the regular season pass DLC. And that proves me wrong. See, I was one of the people that was under the impression that this was finna be exactly like what's the game? Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. Because Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, the only thing we got the entirety of the game was season pass DLC content, and they haven't given us shit else since, bro. They ain't gave us nothing else since. You know, and it's sad, but they have not given us anything else since. And in my opinion, I thought, well, obviously, as y'all know, I thought that was gonna be the same thing with Sparking Zero. Now, honestly, if you had to ask me my genuine opinion on this fact or on this like situation right now, I think we still gonna end up getting like things in between like the season passes and stuff like that? I don't know. I just gotta be with y'all. I don't know. And the only reason I say that is because this did only get released because there's a Dragon Ball Legends like 10-year anniversary or some shit going on. That's the only reason they even did this, bro. That's the only reason they even did this, bro. So just based off that, it's like, okay, well, I feel as though the only time we gonna probably get something like this, bro, is if it would benefit Bandai. I don't know if they gonna really just drop no random characters unless it's something special, like let's say it's fucking Gohan Day or something. I don't know. Let's say it's just some random, just some random shit. You feel me? They might release a character on Sparking Zero for a certain to celebrate something. That's the only negative I could possibly see, or the only way I could take it from being positive to, being a little more realistic about it. Because like I said, they did only release this simply because it was like Dragon Ball Legends anniversary. That's the only reason they doing this, but they not doing this on no random stuff like, oh, we just thought about y'all, and like, no, it's an anniversary. So they had a reason to do it. They're getting, once again, this, if I'm being real with y'all, bro, it just shows like that they really still are just doing shit simply for money. Because they're like, okay, let's see what we can capitalize off of. Let's not see if we can just appease motherfuckers. Let's see what we can capitalize off of this game. Let's see. And that's what it was. I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, I thought this video was supposed to be the positive. I gotta be real. I can't lie. You feel me? I gave y'all the reasons it could potentially save this motherfucker, and that's about it. I'm being real with y'all. What we finna do the rest of the video is just read off some comments of what niggas was saying, if I'm being real. But that's all it is, bro. Those are the only two positives that I could possibly see coming from this, bro. Those are the only two positives. And even with the second positive, I don't know. Because like I said, the only reason they doing this is to celebrate something. So it seemed, in my opinion, the only other time they would be doing something like this was to celebrate something. You feel me? That's the only thing I could possibly think of. Because I mean, if I'm being real, they kind of showed that they can drop different things like outside of the DLC packs and shit. When they dropped the aura pack and they dropped the soundtrack packs and shit like that, that's outside of the DLC roadmap. But I guess that's kind of different because it's not characters and shit like that. But it's still like they still showing that they can. I feel as though that definitely showed that they could, do a little something. That's why I say I definitely believe they can drop. They're gonna probably drop a map pack. I feel like that's 100% gonna happen. They are 100% gonna drop a map pack, whether it's this year or next year. They're gonna drop one at some point. There's no way in hell, ain't no way in hell, bro, that they come out with this game and these are the only maps that we ever gonna have in the game, bro. Do you know how crazy that would be for a Dragon Ball game that came out in the end of 2024 and we only have 10 maps, bro? And the game isn't something like people act like this game is something, bro. This game is not crazy, bro. This is not no crazy elaborate game, my nigga. It's one-on-one basically. Even when you playing DP battles, it's still one-on-one. It's only one nigga on the field at a time. It's not like it's multiple niggas on there at a time and you have a big map. That's it. You have two niggas on the map at the same time and a big ass map. That's it, bro. There's no reason we should only have 10 maps, bro. I can understand maybe if it was like, okay, it was multiple niggas fighting on the map at once. It's like, okay, we got to figure out how to, nigga, it's only 2 people fighting on the map at once. And it's just one big ass map, bro. Y'all could easily make more maps and could have been had them, bro. We done seen modders make maps. We done seen all sorts of different people. I done seen on YouTube people that made maps, bro. Regular people that's not getting paid for it, bro. Just people that got love for the game. And y'all niggas in the comment section make excuses as to why, oh, we can't get, they not making maps because of this. Bro, stop, bro. Y'all are dick eating. There is no other game in history that could come out with this map, with this lack of content, and people just sit here and dick eat and defend it. Bro, 8 months later and we still don't have no new maps, bro. 8 months later and we still don't have no new cosmetics. 8 months later, right? 8 months later, and we still don't have any of that. We don't have none of it, and they haven't spoke on it either. They haven't even spoken on it. But I'm not here to rant about, these different things. I'm here that we here to talk about the Shallot DLC, and that's what we gonna do. Like I said, in my opinion, that second point that I made is a positive, and it's like a, you got to be realistic with it at the same time. They probably only gonna release another character like this if it's some type of situation where they may get something from it. At the end of the day, what this is gonna do, it's gonna make a lot of Dragon Ball Legends players, if they didn't already have Spark of Zero, they gonna get Spark of Zero, and it's gonna make them come back to Spark of Zero, maybe spend some bread on that little DLC because they fuck with Dragon Ball Legends so hard. It's that simple. If you can't understand it, I don't know what to tell you. But that was all the points that I could possibly make up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, I tried my hardest. I dead ass tried my hardest. Those was the only 2 points I could come up with. So let's get into some points that a lot of the people in the comment section made, even though some of them was damn near similar to what I said. But let's get into some of y'all's comments, bro. So for the first comment, we got Sound Like LA. He says, this is actually promising. Shallot being included means a bright future for the game. I've noticed the game has nods to the manga rather than the anime, so we might get Black Frieza, Moro, Ultra Ego. Who knows though, but that's what I hope. Alright, so like I said earlier in the video, I don't think that's finna happen, bro. Sound like LA. It's cool to be hopeful, but they not doing that, bro. They not doing that. They don't have the ability to do that. There's a listen, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, bro. Do y'all not understand that if they could have already put Ultra Ego into a video game, they would have? Do y'all not realize how much money they would have gotten doing that? Why would they do that later? Why wouldn't they just release the game? I mean, I can understand them not releasing the game with Ultra Ego, but that could have been a crazy selling point. That could have been a crazy selling point that at least at some point, like, they would have definitely already foretold that they was going to do that, bro. In my opinion, that's what I think, at least. Like, or let's put it like this. Let me ask y'all this, bro. If they was going to already release Ultra Ego Vegeta, bro, they would have done it on Xenoverse. They would have been did it on Xenoverse because Xenoverse was out well before Sparking. They would have did it on maybe, I don't think they did it on Fighters. They possibly could have, but they definitely would have did it on Legends. And I don't really know too much about Legends. I just know it's a phone game, but they definitely would have did it on there. If they haven't released, or they released Super Saiyan 4 Goku on Legends before, like Daima Goku on Legends, before they ever did on Xenoverse, bro. And obviously before they ever will on Spark and Zero, or before they ever did on Spark and Zero. But there's no reason to believe that they finna release any manga content. They have never done that, and they never will. If they could have done it, they would have, because it would have brought them money. We know who Bandai is. We know what type of company that we talking about right now. We are talking about one of the most money hungry companies ever in history, bro. Literally, that's what Bandai is. They just money hungry, and you can't be mad at them for it. It's like I'm mad at them for it because we get these garbage ass games. But if you was in their position, right? If you was in the position of Bandai, right? Like, we have the option to either half-ass this motherfucker or make this motherfucker with all the love in the world, but we still gonna make the same amount of money regardless. Probably gonna half-ass it. Now, me personally, I like to do things genuinely, so I probably would put love into it. But most people will probably just half-ass it, because I mean, you finna get the same shit regardless. Nigga, you still finna get 6 million buys in less than a year. You know what I mean? So, like I said, bro. Like I said, I don't blame them for being money hungry. That's what businesses are. That's why they were created, to make money. They weren't, bro. What y'all don't understand is, bro, Bandai and all these different game companies, they was made, like, I'm pretty sure initially it was love in them, but it was made to make money. That's what y'all got to realize. It was made to make money regardless. So always remember that before you buy a video game. These niggas just want my money. That's all this game, that's all this PlayStation was made for, was just simply to take my money. Not to 100% appease me, but to take my money. That's the main focus, right? But back to the point, like I said, I do not believe they're gonna release any manga content for Sparking Zero. That's kind of crazy. All right, so next we got Trey Gotti TL. My biggest thing with this is this wasn't planned. They did the unthinkable. I didn't see them changing their OG DLC roadmap plans, but the fact that they did and who they did it with is hopeful for future DLCs. This trailer is 100% proof of what I've been saying is real. This is legit one of the topics I discussed with someone from Bandai. I showed them how the community wants crossover non-canon content from games like Xenoverse, Fighter Z, Dragon Ball Legends, DBO, I don't know what that is, Dragon Ball Fusions, or Super Dragon Ball Heroes, or even manga. So yeah, we didn't get a stage yet, but the fact that they listen to this is huge, bro, because if they dive into crossover content, there's enough DLC. Characters, stages, transformations, fusions, auras, costumes, alternative colors, accessories, weapons, what ifs to last for years beyond what Xenoverse has done so far. Alright, so definitely a good comment, but I hate to break it to you, Trey. So I gotta be real, bro. I gotta be real with you. There was already enough content in the Dragon Ball canon universe for them to drop all this different stuff that you talking about. They didn't need to drop Shallot or any non-canon character so that, you know, to prove that they could. If y'all don't see in the background, I'm fighting Demon Lick. Shout out him. Anybody that know that he tough as hell at the game. But back to the point, like I said, and I fought somebody else named Censor Poro as well. He tough as hell too. But what I was gonna say, yeah, like I said, if they didn't need to release this to be able to release auras, costumes, anything that you said. They didn't need to release this to be able to release any of that, bro. They could have released all that other shit without releasing this non-canon character. They didn't have to release this, bro. They're not releasing no manga content, bro. They not doing that, bro. I understand. I'm not sure who you talked to at Bandai, but I know that nigga doesn't have no pull. There's no way. There's no way, bro. There's no way. Like, they only released this DLC because it's a Dragon Ball Legends like anniversary, bro. That's the only reason. It wasn't to appease niggas. It wasn't to let's drop a non-canon character. Like, no, that's not what it was, bro. It was to capitalize off of the success of Dragon Ball Legends. That's why this happened. And I know it's crazy to think, because this video is why it potentially could, because it's a slight chance that what you saying is true. It's a slight chance that the first part of what I said was true, like the fact that they can introduce other certain characters simply because of this, or it shows that they can do things outside of the roadmap, right? That's true. This does show that. However, you gotta be real and think for a second. They're only doing this. There is a large possibility that they're only doing this to capitalize off the success of Dragon Ball Legends. You know, because if I'm being real, they could have released a much more hype character than fucking Shallot, bruh. Super Saiyan Bardock. That's a non-canon character. Easily would have been way harder than this shit, bro. They could have gave Shallot Super Saiyan up to blue. Would have been way harder. They only made this character to capitalize off the success of Dragon Ball Legends. I'm sorry. And I hate the fact that that's what it is, but that's what it is, y'all. We gotta be realistic, bro. We have to be real, bro. We gotta be real. If they really even put in work to this with this DLC, bro, we would have got all the nigga forms, at least Super Saiyan. At least Super Saiyan, bro. And one of the reasons why I think they did this character, one of the other reasons, is because he was so easy to put in the game, bro. All they did was get this nigga full power energy wave, mix a super between Goku and Vegeta, and give this nigga some basic looking ass ultimate and just call it a day. It didn't even take much to make the nigga, bro. It didn't take much. That's why I told y'all this DLC better not be any more than $1. It don't need to be no more than $1, bro. No more than $1. But shout out to Trey Gotti, man. Shout out to him. I think that's the dude that I read, hopefully. But shout out to him, man. But let's get into this last comment that I got on this for this video. All right, so last but not least, we got Otherworld Gaming. I think why a lot of them are hyped, I'm kind of happy from the announcement too, is the surprise element of content beyond the season pass from the otherwise dead game with a lack of content. The content itself is obviously lackluster, but it's a move in the right direction. For content to be added as standalone DLC that hopefully includes maps, accessories, and costumes instead of waiting months on a season pass drop, Like, it will be dope in the future if they drop an OG Dragon Ball Season Pass and in the middle of it, they drop an outer space map and extra costumes or something. I can actually agree with this comment. I will say I can actually agree with this comment. Like I said, I do believe it's kind of a step in the right direction. Like the fact that they are releasing this outside of the DLC roadmap and there was no announcement outside of a couple days ago, and like I said, we finna get it in a few days. That is actually a very good thing, y'all. That's actually a very good thing. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's two sides to the coin, y'all. It's just two sides to the coin. Like, in one sense, I can sit here and say that, but in another sense, I can be like, well, they are just doing this to capitalize off of something. You feel me? They are just doing this to capitalize off the success of Dragon Ball Legends, right? And it's like, in a sense, you could be like, okay, well, maybe they're doing this so that they can maybe gauge how the community will react to a character that's non-canon being added to Sparking Zero. But it's like, bro, like, they know niggas finna buy it, bro. The fuck? They know niggas finna buy it, bro. They don't need to test the waters. Nigga, it was 6 million people to buy this game. You don't need to test the waters, nigga. Just fucking drop Super Saiyan Bardock and call it a day. You know niggas finna buy that, bro. That nigga Bardock is one of the most popular Dragon Ball characters in this, just in the series in general. He's one of the most popular characters. Why wouldn't niggas buy that, bro? You feel me? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this shit down in the comment section below. Me personally, I can see the positivity, but I can also see the bullshit. I can see it from both sides, man. I feel like I can see the dualities of the situation. And y'all let me know in the comment section, what side are y'all leaning towards more? Me personally, I'm gonna say I'm in the middle, bro. When I first seen the trailer, I was definitely more so on the other side. Like, you know, me just I don't want to say being negative, but me just being a little too real about it and not seeing the positives, right? But I was a little more on that side. Right now, I'm kind of in the middle. I can see where everybody's coming from. I can definitely see where y'all coming from in the comment section. I'm glad that y'all did leave y'all comments. It definitely opened my eyes a little bit. You know, I'm not somebody that's just finna read comments and go in there, oh man, y'all are just, I'm not finna do that, bro. I'm gonna go read your comments and I'm gonna be like, okay, that makes sense, bro. You know, that's why I appreciate y'all leaving comments, and I hope y'all leave some more comments on this one so I can get to them and read them, man, so I can make some more videos and lock in with y'all niggas, you feel me? But yeah, that's all I got for y'all this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this shit. I appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and Don Coolio out, bruh.